another raw video from your favorite YouTube scout, Draftrawthentic. Yes, I'm finally here for another video, and like I said, it's a raw one, so there will be no edits. Anyway, if you can tell by the title, this is the Cleveland Browns 2018 NFL Draft Review. Yes, I had to finally do it. I'm going through the whole AFC North. I already put out the Ravens one. And if you're seeing this now, I've already probably put out the Steelers one too as well. So here comes the Cleveland Browns. And then obviously the last one will be about the Cincinnati Bengals. So let's get into it. The Cleveland Browns. Let's start with their first pick. Their first pick was Baker Mayfield. Right position, good player, but wrong player. I personally think Sam Darnold is the best quarterback in the draft. Now, I'm also say this. I think that Josh Rosen still is one of the most polished quarterbacks in the draft. If it was one of those two, I would have been fine. It's Baker Mayfield. I'm still fine about the pick. I don't hate the pick at all. And I'm not trolling because I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. It's the Cleveland Browns. I'm not one of those people that will sit there and say, oh, this is a bad pick. I think people were more upset that they felt as though Baker Mayfield wasn't the right quarterback to choose. And we, as of right now, we can't say Baker wasn't the right one. Because, honestly, I kind of think he's not. I think Baker's going to be a really good quarterback in this league. I just think that there were other players, not say other players, but there was another quarterback that was a better quarterback or probably will be a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. And that's just my thoughts. Like I said, I think it should have been Sam Darnold, not Josh Allen. Heck no. And then Josh Rosen, I would have been cool with that. Baker, I'm still cool with. I like the pick, but I don't love the pick. And then that second first-round pick, I was shocked. Not that they chose Denzel Ward, because that was something that was kind of being pushed out there, but that they didn't choose Bradley Chubb. I've said this plenty and plenty times again. Bradley Chubb is the number one player in the 2018 NFL Draft. They chose Denzel Ward. Hopefully, this pick works out. I'm not a big fan of Denzel Ward, though. I believe that, and it's just me, that Mike Hughes and Jair Alexander were better corners than Denzel Ward. But we will see. I could be wrong. But if I'm wrong, in 3 years, y'all going to be getting a video where I'm going to go over and review this draft class, and we're going to see how wrong I was or how right I was. So if you don't know what I think about Denzel Ward, please go to the 2018 top prospect, the cornerback top prospects video. Obviously, it should be in my playlist for the 2018 NFL Draft. So then in the second round, they chose Austin Corbett. Now, with Austin Corbett from Nevada, he is one of those guys that is like a Zach Martin, right? Center, guard, tackle. Isaiah Wynn. Center, guard, tackle. I'm concerned about this pick because it almost kind of reminds me of Cameron Erving. Now, I'm not saying Austin Corbett won't be a good player, but if you're a Browns fan, then you know about Cameron Erving and how bad he was. A first-round pick that literally could play center, guard, or tackle. I'm just a little bit wary of, are they repeating the same picks over and over again when they have these guys? I'm not sure, but it seems like the exact same players that they've gotten before. If you want to, honestly, if you just want to get into like, oh, he reminds me of him or he kind of looks like him and all, the whole Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield thing, I don't believe that, but I can understand it because they're 6 feet and they're small, running around type dudes. Okay, whatever. I don't believe it, though. Then the whole Denzel Ward thing, you look at, well, the top corner was Justin Gilbert when they picked him, and then the whole Cameron Erving thing, and then you got Austin Corbett, and it's almost kind of the same thing. We will see. I do like the pick, though. Now, with the next pick that they had, that's the pick I love the most. Nick Chubb. He was my safest running back in this class. There's no way this guy's going to bust. And pairing him up with Duke Johnson and Carlos Hyde, They don't even need Carlos. They can use Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb and Duke Johnson is going to be one of the best 1-2 punches in the league. And hopefully Austin Corbett blocking for them, hopefully that becomes better for them too. Now, to get to that next pick, their third round pick, Chad Thomas, Miami. I love that pick as well. Chad Thomas, the production wasn't there as much, but I've always say this and I'll say it again. When it comes to defensive players, if the production not there, the only thing I want to see from you is high energy and hustle. I always want to see that go-getter mentality, that this is my last game. And Chad Thomas showed that every single game. This is a good pick. This is a steal for them. And if he becomes who he probably should be, he's going to be one of the best defenders in the NFL. I'm calling it. He will be. Trust me when I say that. Now, seeing as though they picked him and not a Bradley Chubb, he could honestly turn out to be better than Bradley Chubb years down the road. But we'll see. We will see. The draft is just projections. It's predicting what we think from what we see in college. So we will see with that pick. But I'm telling you right now, Browns fans, that's a good pick. In their next pick, they chose the most troubled player in the draft, Antonio Callaway. To me, there was better receivers on the board. This guy is one of the most gifted receivers, but his biggest problem is that he can't stay out of trouble. And you know what? I'm going to just skip this dude because he shouldn't have gotten drafted. He just shouldn't have. I'm going to just say he's a talented receiver, and he could be really good in this league, but if he gets arrested or something happens, suspended again, then, it is what it is. That's who he was, and that's what they chose. So, skip. Anywho, in their fifth round, with their fifth pick, I just did that. They chose Gennard Avery from Memphis, linebacker. Now, with Avery, I actually really like Avery. Not too much, but I don't think he's a bad player. He's a guy that more probably in the special teams realm. If you hear that noise right now, I'm trying to look through my notes real quick. What I wrote about him. He was very, very athletic. That's what I can say. The biggest problem with him, though, was everything else. It was a lot of athleticism. It was almost like when the Bengals picking Malik Jefferson. It's so much athleticism where you can see it, but it's like, where's the instincts? Where are you going? And you just don't know with him. So it's one of those things where in the fifth round, it's a good pick. It's a very, very good pick. But you just hope as a Browns fan that he turns out to be pretty good. But we'll see. Anyway, their next two picks in the sixth round, I can't really talk about either one of these dudes. It was receiver and a corner. The reason why is because I didn't watch any of their tape. I probably should have watched the tape before I did this video, but I honestly, I watched so much tape of these guys. I watched a lot of tape. So the thing is that I could go back and watch this stuff, but I need that. My brain needs resting from what I saw. I saw so many different players. It was a lot that I had to go through. The thing, though, is that, like I said, I look at two different websites to give me the prospects. Some of them, obviously all the top names will be there, but near the bottom it's always different names. And these two guys, I didn't see their names in any of that stuff. So, pretty much, I just never got to watch them. But anyway, the only thing I can say is, overall, I think the Browns didn't have as great of a draft as they probably should have. I like their second-round pick in Nick Chubb and their third-round pick in Chad Thomas, and even their first-round pick in Baker Mayfield, but there was a lot of the other picks I wasn't a huge fan of. And we will see down the road what happens with this team. But I would just say that hopefully they can turn it around. But seeing as though it's the Cleveland Browns, who knows? But anyway, if you like this video and like what I had to say about the Cleveland Browns, please hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more videos. Please comment if you didn't like what I had to say about the Cleveland Browns in that draft pick, or you did, so we can debate about it. And then share this video so other Cleveland Brown fans can join the debate, and we can build this draft community of us debating of who is the best prospects coming into the NFL. Once again, this is Draftrawthentic. Thank you for watching, and